week's exciting matchup. Now for all the highlights and play-by-play action, let's go to the field.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Waldrop Stadium in Homewood, where tonight the Homewood High School Patriots will take on the Vestavia Hills Rebels in this sectional over-the-mountain rivalry. I'm Barry Copeland, along with Wayne Glasscock. It's our pleasure to be bringing you this game on a delayed rebroadcast. And Wayne, we've got one on tap tonight, facing Vestavia Hills.
We got a great one in store, Barry. I'm pumped. I don't know about you. Vestavia comes in with a record of 3-1. Of course, Homewood's 4-0. Last year, Vestavia had a record of 3-7. Coach Buddy Anderson, longtime coach at Vestavia, is going to bring Vestavia in because this is a big over-the-mountain rivalry. Vestavia loves to beat Homewood.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. One of the things that Homewood will look at tonight is Paul Head, the quarterback at Vestavia, who is a left-hander. And Coach Gerald Gann said earlier this week that was something his team has not looked at so far this year, a left-handed quarterback. So they'll have to adjust to that. Of course, on the other side, Vestavia is going to look at Robert Davis.
That's correct. Vestavia plays a very controlled passing game. They will put it up from most anywhere on the field. Generally short control passes. They got a guy named Yates tied in who is excellent receiver. Jay Wagner, of course, the tailback, do everything tailback. Jay has 8 touchdowns on the year, and a couple of other players for Vestavia who will be
and play-by-play action.
Make a great impact on the game. I'm sure Jody McCullough, a linebacker, Michael Clemmer, defensive end, and of course I already mentioned Jay Wagner, but these guys are prospects, college prospects, and I'm sure they'll give Homewood all we want tonight.
Well, there's no question about it, and you know they're pumped. They're facing a Homewood team that's 4-0. Vestavia Hills would like nothing better than to knock us off tonight. Of course, when they face us, they face Robert Davis, who on the year so far is at 641 yards of offense. He's averaging 7.3 yards a carry so far, and he has 10 touchdowns on the season. And to say that that's probably their biggest challenge, I guess would be an understatement, Wayne. We'll be back in just a few minutes to set the starting lineups for you on both schools as we wait and anticipate this really exciting game that we're going to have tonight between Vestavia Hills and Homewood. We'll be back right after this word from one of our sponsors. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
South Trust Bank is pleased to support Homewood High School athletics and wishes the Patriot football team a winning season. Whether it's community service or quality service at one of our convenient offices, South Trust Bank is working harder for you.
This fall, enter the Pepsi Bodacious Back-to-School Sweepstakes and win a free limo to and from school. It's Bo Jackson.
School was never like this.
Or a $1,000 shopping spree.
School was never like this.
And best of all, Pepsi will give the lucky winner up to $100,000 towards college.
School was never like this.
The Pepsi Bodacious Back-to-School Sweepstakes.
School was never like this.
Didn't I just say that?
Enter the Pepsi Bodacious Back-to-School Sweepstakes.
So, when was the last time you were screened for cancer?
I don't think I've ever been screened for cancer.
And why not?
Never had the time.
It only takes 2 hours at Princeton's new cancer screening center.
I never had the money.
It only costs $48.
I never had a reason.
Right, because it always happens to the other guy.
Guess I don't have an excuse.
I guess not.
These days, there's no reason not to get screened for cancer. Call us for an appointment.
The national anthem, and the Homewood Patriots are ready to take the field as they get ready for this over-the-mountain rivalry with Vestavia. Looks like we have more captains than I thought we were going to have tonight, Wayne.
Well, I appreciate you making an effort to come up with those numbers for the captains, Barry. Looks like we got Jonathan Hammaker, Lee Thompson, Eric Rabels, Eugene Oliver, Chris Lesko,
Jay Roberson, Damon Southward, and Robert Davis are the captains for tonight's game.
All right. Here come the Patriots. Barry, look for Vestavia to be keying on Robert Davis tonight, just as Irwin did, just like everyone else has done for the past few weeks.
Well, there's no doubt about that's what they'll be looking at. I'll tell you what, while we have a minute here, why don't we set the offensive and defensive lineups right before kickoff. Vestavia starting on offense tonight will be split in number 22, Ryan Daniel. At tackle number 72, Bubby Gwynn. At guard 68, David McDaniel. The center is number 53, Matt Beard. The other guard, number 54, Clay Hagler. And the other tackle, 74, Mark Thompson. The tight end is 43, David Yates. Jay Wagner, number 7, is the tailback. The fullback is number 46, Ryan Mann. Number 19, Jeff Mollison, is the wingback, and at quarterback tonight for the Rebels will be number 11, Paul Head. Now the starting lineup for Homewood, and we'll give the offensive lineups first and then set the defense as we get into the game. For Homewood, starting at split end is number 11, Brian Greer. The right tackle is 73, Chris Lusko. The right guard is number 79, Jonathan Hamaker. The center is 66, Chris Cowan. Left guard, 71, Steve Carpenter. At tackle, number 60, Stanley Legg. The tight end on the left side is number 32, Damon Southward. Kenneth Evans back in good health and starting tonight at fullback, number 41. The tailback, of course, number 30, Robert Davis. The wingback is 84, Dwight Whalen. And the Homewood Patriots are quarterbacked by number 10, Jay Roberson. And I almost slipped and said middle school. We had a middle school game here earlier this afternoon. They, by the way, are now 5-0 on their season.
Homewood beat Trustful today, and we'll come back next Thursday.
The 11th against Gresham, and it is here at Waldrop Field. It's homecoming for the middle school next Thursday, the 11th. Well, we're delighted to be with you tonight, and as you watch the toss of the coin, we'll tell you that we are again this week broadcasting with 3 cameras. We have the capability tonight, Wayne, you weren't with us last week except you were here as a spotter, but we have the capability of instant replay, which is something I don't think you see in very many high school broadcasts. And we've also got the capability tonight to isolate the clock for you in the lower left-hand corner of the screen, so if it should get tight where the clock is of concern, we'll be able to have that. Really a super setup on the part of the entire broadcast crew here.
I think it's unique for high school football, and Dudley Hammond can take a lot of credit for this, and he does a great job. Everything, Homewood does, we try to do first class, and this replay is no exception.
Well, there's no question about it. No question about it. The officials for tonight's game will give you those. The umpire is Joe Sims. The head linesman tonight will be Charles Fletcher. The field judge, Arthur Kelly. The back judge, Jim Kelly. The clock operators here are Jerry Browning and Ben Gibson. Ben Gibson will keep the scoreboard for us. And our public address announcer here is Clyde Cook. The referee in charge of the officials tonight is Steve Newton. So it looks like Homewood has won the toss and elected to receive. And as you might suspect, they'll send Robert Davis, Brian Greer, and Elvin Skipper deep.
Rhett Wheeler will kick off for Vestavia. Rhett's a senior, and this Vestavia Rebel squad is loaded with seniors. It's a very experienced ball club. That's one reason they're 3-1 on the year. It's going to be a barn burner.
Well, it is indeed. Homewood nursing that 4-0 record that sounds so good at this point in the season. And we're set to kick it off. Delighted you're with us tonight, and looking forward to a good one. Skipper takes it in on the 11.
Great return.
Excellent return down the right side to about the 39, almost to the 40-yard line. The stop by Vestavia made by number 34, Jeff Colvin, and number 14, Jason Breckenridge. I want to go ahead and say right, I'm sorry, go ahead, Wayne.
Obviously, they kicked it away from Robert Davis, which is a smart thing to do. But Elvin brought it back to the 40-yard line. Great return. Good blocking by the Patriots.
It's a 27-yard return by Elvin. Jay Roberson works with 1st and 10 at his own 40-yard line.
as we suspected, Barry, you're going to see the middle linebacker, Vestavia, key on Robert. Vestavia go for the 5-man front.
Michael Clemmer, the number 49, the defensive back, made the stop. I think we're probably going to hear his name a good bit. He's right in the middle of that line.
He's a defensive end, and he had an older brother, if I remember correctly, who walked on down to Auburn and played some ball. He's a very, very dedicated young man.
4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6.
Boom. 89.
Well,
Vestavia, Nick Marino really tagged Robert.
Really did, and the ball squirted away. The official had blown it dead at the time. So the play fails to gain, brings up 3rd and 6.
You know, Homewood's got some other weapons if they key too much on Robert. Jay is capable of putting the ball in there. Our attack this year, offensive attack, hasn't been as balanced as Vestavia, but we can throw the ball.
Looks like he's changing his call at the line based on the Vestavia defensive alignment. Robert Davis up to the middle again, maybe a yard on the play, Wayne. But that's going to bring up a 4th down and a definite punting situation as the special teams change out on the field.
Robert carries the ball 3 straight times, and we get 5 yards out of it. I think we'll see Homewood utilize their fullback more the next time, and again, Jay maybe want to put the ball in there.
The stop by Clemmer and also Frank Brudeseal for Vestavia. Jay Roberson bobbles that, but he's got plenty of time and gets away a good punt. Fair catch signal by Jay Wagner. And so, a brief encounter at midfield there, and now Vestavia takes over. 1st and 10 from their own 22-yard line.
Good coverage on the punt by number 8, Scott Hogue. The main man, Scott Hogue, down there with good coverage. Wagner had to call for a fair catch.
That's the way to do it. 32-yard punt by Jay Roberson that time. Might note that Dusty Smith is wearing the number 1 jersey tonight. Dusty has swapped a couple of jerseys last week, but he is wearing number 1 tonight.
Quarterback sneak.
Well, head on the keeper goes ahead for about, looks like 4 yards, 5 yards maybe.
Vestavia will run the I, Barry, and pretty much stay in a straight I. They'll go to the power I and the slot I on occasion. And they, as I said, have a very balanced attack. They have some 1,200 yards on the year, 700 running the ball, 500 throwing the ball.
Head, as we noted, is the left-handed quarterback. He runs backfield with Jay Wagner. He's coming out throwing.
Good defensive play.
The referee signals incomplete.
Good play by Oliver, Eugene Oliver.
Oh, absolutely. Great play by Eugene Oliver. Dusty Smith over there assisting.
Homewood go mainly with a 4-man front, and probably see a great deal of the 4-4 defense tonight with Paul Head throwing the ball. There you see Lee Thompson at the line. He backs off.
Fumble. Looks like Homewood may have covered it up. Who was it that got it? Was it Lee Thompson, 48? 64. Eric Rebels. Go to the ball and you'll find Eric Rebels most of the time.
In a big game like this, Barry, turnovers, you know, generally the difference in the game, turnovers.
Absolutely.
Homewood gets a break early.
Homewood does get a break. They'll take over 1st and 10 from the Vestavia 27-yard line.
Vestavia, 5-man front. Jay keeps the ball on an option.
Well, he winds his way around the left side and looks like the play maybe picked up a yard. 2nd and 7 now. You know, interestingly enough, you mentioned on the turnovers, the Vestavia coach, Buddy Anderson, was quoted in the paper this morning as saying, "We cannot turn the ball over. This is going to be a key to his game plan."
Looks like they just proved they can.
Already on the first set of downs, Vestavia comes away with a turnover. Call it 2nd and 7 now. Roberson gives to his first man through, the big fullback, Kenneth Evans. And Kenneth scrapping off right tackle for 2 or 3 yards there.
I think you're going to see Kenneth carry the ball quite a bit tonight. can we get that defense loosened up a little bit? And it's a senior defense primarily, as we said. They're not going to be easily fooled, but right now we are getting in pretty good position for a field goal here, so we don't want to do anything wild and crazy here.
Jody McCullough and Jared Sinclair, 2 Vestavia players on the stop that time. Third down, about 4 now. A key possession down for the Patriots. Looks like some mixed signals there, and Jay did good just to hold on to the ball. But I don't believe the mark is going to be all that we need. It's going to be very, very close.
Well, Homewood's, they're going to call timeout for a measurement. Kenneth hit the line that time, and we missed the handoff. Jay had to eat the ball, but we're going to be close to a first down.
Michael Klimmer made the stop for Vestavia that time.
We've been about a yard short, Barry.
Well, that's going to bring up 4th and about a foot.
All right, play Coach Gannon. Do you kick or go for it?
Well, we've seen West Steed kick field goal from that distance in practice before, but I think the coaches are deciding right now what they're going to do with it, and it does not look like they're in the field goal mindset right now.
I think Coach Gannon would like the psychological advantage right here and take control of the line of scrimmage. And he's saying, he thinks our guys on the line can knock them off the line and get this 1 yard for first down.
Well, they set Evans and Davis, and the give is to Robert Davis. But a stop by number 64 for Vestavia, Todd Hamby, an inside linebacker, comes up short.
Good all-around athlete.
Michael Klimmer in on that as well. So Vestavia takes over on downs, and they'll move from about their own 19-yard line.
Todd Hamby's going to be a good football player. Just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore.
Excuse me, he's a junior. Head keeps again.
Once again, Paul Head on a keeper play, first play from scrimmage.
Evidently, Vestavia thinks the middle of our line is kind of soft, and with Michael Flint, Michael Coggin, Jonathan Hammaker, and Damon Southwood in there, they combine on the tackle after about a gain of 3. Looks like they want to test the middle before they try the outside.
Yeah, 2nd and 7 now. Homewood stunning like they had a blitz on. Wagner's got the ball around right end. Brought down by Eric Rebels and Scott Hogue together working to bring Wagner down, but that's going to be a first down for the Rebels.
Well, the corner's going to have to come up a little bit faster. Linebackers, Lee Thompson, Eric Rebels, and Dustin Smith doing a good job fighting to get to the outside. I think you'll see Eugene and Scott and West come up a little bit quicker on that pitch. So.
Yeah, I think definitely. Yeah, Mike Whitten, our spotter, makes a good point that Steed is not in the game right now, and I'm not sure exactly why that's the case. Brian Greer has filled in the free safety slot.
West has had a bad ankle this week.
He has had a bad ankle for a couple of weeks. They give to Wagner again. Wagner off left tackle.
Big Scott Hogue, I hope he doesn't hurt anyone, and Michael Flynn on the tackle.
Well, that play was good for about 4 yards. And that brings up 2nd and 6 now. Vestavia not anything spectacular, just a solid chew him up 3 or 4 yards at a time offense so far. Nothing in the air at this point.
Give to the fullback. Damon meets him at the line. And it looks like no gain on the play.
Number 32, Damon
Vestavia has several fullbacks. Number 44 is their most noted power blocker.
Well, I'm just looking. They gave us 46 Ryan Mann in the starting offensive lineup, and now they're running Jody McCullough in that fullback position. So they're they're moving him around.
Mann is in the ball game now.
Wagner comes in motion to the left, and head is back to pass. Interception by Brian Greer. Greer to the 40, to the 20, and finally brought down at the 10-yard line by number 11 for Vestavia, Paul Head, the quarterback, and also 74 in on that, Mark Thompson.
Homewood had one receiver in mind. He was going to Wagner. Looks like Brian read it all the way, stepped in front of the receiver. Brian returns it
41 yards. 41 yards. It's the kind of momentum changer that you look for early in a ball game like this.
Well, it's important to come out of this thing with points right here, and I believe our guys can do it. We got same offensive lineup. Homewood in the eye.
Davis has it, but it'll be tough going around that left side. That pursuit by Vestavia just absolutely swarmed all over him. A host of tacklers out there, too numerous to mention. And I might add, too depressing to mention.
Well,
that was a loss of 11, by the way.
Might be wise to change Robert's number because I think everybody in the house is betting Robert Davis can get the ball 25 times tonight.
Well, that's absolutely right, Wayne. And clearly that's a mark of an excellent, excellent back that everybody in the county is keying on him. So we look at second and a long, long, long way to go. Davis on a halfback option, and he threw it a mile. Eric Rebels was at the out of the end zone, and Eric hit the ground real hard on the shot put platform over there, but I think he's going to be all right. I'm sorry. I missed it. I saw the 84 as a 64. My bad. That was Dwight Whalen. I'm glad he's all right.
Good call by the offensive coaches. The pass was thrown just a little bit late. Dwight was open momentarily when he went in the end zone, but Vestavia defensive back recovered quickly.
Well, that was a pass that was full of adrenaline, and it was about 5 yards over the end line of the end zone anyway.
We're going to have Jay stand in the pocket and throw about a 25-yard completion on this one.
Now he sends Davis into the eye, and that goes absolutely nowhere. They had the two backs in a wingback position, split wingback position. Now it looks as though the field goal team is coming on. Wes Steed checking into the game. Doesn't appear to be favoring that ankle too much. The spot will be right at about the 30-yard line. Call it the 29.5-yard line.
Let's mention that the sprained ankle has been bothering Wes for several weeks. Is on his kicking leg. I've seen Wes nail him from this far before. This is a 49-yard field goal.
Actually, well, we've got a whistle on the play. It may be more than this. We'll have to see what the call is. And checking off with the Vestavia, we've got delay of game against Homewood. A little bit too much time getting the special team on there. This will now make our spot at about the 34-yard line, and that'll make it a 44-yard attempt. But they keep the special team in there. So what we can do is wait and see. Got your inset there. Kick is down, it's up. If it's long enough, and it's just short. Just short.
Great effort. Great effort. Good snap that time by, I believe it's Eric Rebels on the snap.
I think it is. Well, we've got timeout on the field right now, and we need to remind folks it's 2:27 remaining in the first quarter. And what I'm missing this week is the officials' break for water, rest break. We don't have it tonight, I think, because the temperature has cooled off a little bit.
Not quite as humid, and Homewood's got to take a timeout right here. Evidently, we didn't have enough men on the field, and Coach Torres is going to go out there and talk to his troops.
Indeed, we had 10 on the field.
Michael Coggin, for some reason, was not in the ball game. I don't know if they were looking at Michael because of injury or what.
Well, the coach has got the board out, and he's going to show them a little bit of what he wants them to do as they adjust. You know, in the from the very first game of the season, Wayne, the defensive coordinator Mike Thorson has had just a remarkable capability to adjust on the fly and change that defense to accommodate the offense that's been thrown against us, and this is apparently what's going on here. They want to take some time, catch their breaths, take a look at what's going on out here, and get ready to contain Vestavia. If they can keep Vestavia deep in their own territory on this set of downs and force a punt, then Homewood will have good field position, and that's what they need to get things going.
It is frustrating to an offense. There you see the Homewood band. It is frustrating to an offense, to get down close twice like that and come away without any points.
Although it's been mostly Homewood for the first quarter so far. We've got 2:27 remaining in the quarter. Head gives to his first man through. That's man.
Coggins and Revel on the tackle. Gain of about 3 on that play.
Yeah, gain of 3. Now it's 2nd and 7. We've still got the backers up close. That time he's through. Wagner made it all the way through. Stopped by Damon Southward. And that's well in advance of what they needed for a first down. So they got themselves out of the hole.
Good blocking at the line by the Vestavia Rebels on a one-man could bring him down. That was Scott Hogue. Damon Southwood came in to help bring him down also.
Well, 14 yards on that carry by Jay Wagner, and Wayne, I'll tell you, he's everything we heard he might be. Obviously, they're going to need to key on him as the defense matures in this game.
Dusty Adams. Excuse me,
Dusty Smith has him in the backfield, and thank goodness there's no such thing as a tearaway jersey, right?
Dusty blitzed from his outside linebacker spot, grabbed him and slowed him up, and it's going to be a gain, maybe 1.
That's a big defensive play. Because as we've seen so many times this year, momentum plays such a critical role in a high school football game. About 1:04, and the clock is moving now, remaining in the first quarter. They give to Wagner, and he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of a half a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Jonathan Hammaker submarined him, made a good hit. They got maybe 1.
Maybe a yard. We'll call it 3rd and a long 8.
May see Homewood gambling a little bit on defense here. 3rd and 8. And I believe we've gambled more on defense this year than we have in previous years. Yeah. And it's paid off for us so far. Homewood's still at a 4-4.
Well, Head comes out throwing. He's got his receiver in, but that's not going to be nearly enough for the first down. The play gained about 6 yards. That's going to bring up, as I see it, 4th and 3. 4th and a long 3. So the punting situation is what's obvious here, and Brian Greer drops back for Homewood along with Robert Davis. As the quarter comes to an end, time has run out on us here in the first quarter. There is no score in the game. It's Homewood nothing, Vestavia Hills nothing. We're going to check with one of our commercial sponsors and be right back in just a moment. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
Before I learned about lending money, I learned about respect. I grew up in a large family of 6 children, and my parents always tried to instill in us the importance of treating every person the way we'd like to be treated ourselves. I know what it's like to borrow money because bankers are just like anybody else. We're humans too. Whenever a customer comes in to see me, I treat them like I'd like to be treated myself. When you come into AmSouth to borrow money, you're doing us a favor, and we appreciate it.
Break now. We've got Vestavia in punt formation. Greer and Davis back for Homewood. Gets the kick away despite a heavy rush, and Brian Greer signals for a fair catch. Takes it in on about his 21-yard line. A 35-yard punt. By the way, a discouraging statistic from the first quarter, Wayne. Robert Davis carried the ball 5 times and has -6 yards. So the Vestavia defense absolutely keying on him as a part of their game plan tonight.
We're obviously going to have to use some more of our offensive weapons other than Robert. We're going to have to go with the fullback, and we're going to have to put the ball up early, and we can do it. Great punt that time by Jay Wagner.
give us to Robert Davis, and he goes nowhere. I think we're going to have to look and try to find another route for him to run other than off tackle.
Nick Marino on the tackle for the Rebels that time.
And probably assisted by 2 or 3 others in the middle of that line. Yeah, Robert ran into a solid wall that time.
Looks like it's going to be a defensive battle, and I put our defense up against anyone's. We just need 3 points.
Jay bootlegs. He's got Dwight Whalen open. Oh, and the ball was just tipped by number 64 for Vestavia.
Todd Hamby.
Todd Hamby made the difference on that play because Dwight Whalen was in the open, about 15 yards down off the line of scrimmage. Excellent defensive play by the Vestavia secondary that time.
Dwight ran a good route. Homewood having a little problem getting their timing down and getting the offense on track. But I think we're looking at a pretty good Vestavia defense here.
Now we bring Alexander Adamson and Brian Greer wide to the left. And Jay's coming out to Greer. A good block by Adamson that time to spring Brian Greer.
First down, Homewood.
Brian's up to about the 33-yard line, and that's enough for that first down.
Good strong throw by Jay that time.
Excellent play and a good block by Alexander Adamson. He made the difference on that particular play with that critical block right at the line of scrimmage.
That's what football is all about right there, helping your teammate, and it's a team effort.
It is indeed.
Look for Homewood to start throwing the ball more on first down. Excuse me, man. Vestavia in a 6-man front now.
Davis trying that left tackle slot again, and it's just not there for him. Stop made by number 60, Jared Sinclair for Vestavia. Just really, really difficult going on the interior of that Vestavia defensive front. And you're right, they're bringing sometimes as many as six guys up on the line in anticipation of that run.
We haven't seen this many people around the line of scrimmage that snap the ball all year, I don't think.
Well, Jay's back to pass, and he overthrows the intended receiver, Alexander Adamson.
Zan was open, and Jay just overthrew him. Like Zan was exchanging some pleasantries with the Vestavia safety man, but everything's going to be all right.
They've been asking him how he liked the visitors' parking lot here at Walker Stadium, which is a new feature we've got this year.
3rd and 10. You hate to see your team be backed up on 3rd down. 3rd and long. It's not a good situation.
One thing you'd think that might do is keep those Vestavia linebackers off the line of scrimmage. Jay on the bootleg. He's going to keep it around right in.
All over him.
Looks like it might be a close call over on the Vestavia sideline, but
like Eric McMahon was all over his back.
No yellow flags on that one, folks. No yellow flags on that one. Hard to see from up here. And we didn't isolate on it, so it's hard to tell.
All right. Jay's punting the ball real well, Barry. He's averaging 36.5 yards per kick. He's punted about 11 times this year.
Vestavia brings 10 men on the line, and they're bringing them all. Jay gets it away. We ought to get a flag in the backfield, but none. This one takes a good Homewood bounce and rolls down to about the 34-yard line. Roberson went down on that punt, but no flags in the backfield.
I believe everyone in the stadium was looking for a flag there, including the Vestavia coaches, and it just wasn't coming.
Well, nothing you can do about it at this point. That's a referee's judgment call. A 32-yard punt by Jay. He got another good one away, and that one under tremendous pressure. So Vestavia starts now, and Paul Head will bring his team for 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. He pitches to Wagoner, who's around left end. Dusty Smith grabbed his heels, and it was just enough to trip him up. Brian Greer over there to finish him off. But I'll tell you something, Wayne, he has got that ability to cut so quickly left and right that he's running through the coverage.
You mentioned before the game, they see the Homewood cheerleaders, the keepers of the Homewood Patriot Spirit.
That's right.
You mentioned before the game, last year's Vestavia Homewood game went down to the wire, and they stopped Jay Wagner about the 3-yard line to win the game.
Absolutely. Won it 7-3, as I recall, on the last set of downs in that game. Well, Wagner tries it again this time through the middle of the line, and the going is a little tougher. The play made maybe 2.5 yards.
Michael Flint and Kenneth Evans, it's good to see Chunk in there on defense. Year before last Homewood Vestavia game, we saw 2 overtimes before Homewood lost on a questionable call, but Homewood Vestavia's had some tremendous battles over here.
Well, heads back to pass, rolls out, but it just is wide of the reach of Tyler Malky. One thing we might mention, we don't particularly have a shot of it here, but Eric Rebels is out of the game right now. Eric limped off the field one play ago and is looking at, I believe, his left ankle over on the sidelines. Eric really came off with a good bit of pain there, and we can just hope that that ankle is okay while one of the trainers works on it. Well, head is back to pass, and under tremendous pressure, he dumps the screen off to Wagner. Kenneth Evans takes him out of bounds, just shy of the first down.
That's what Vestavia's good at right there. Well, knowing Eric Rebels, Eric's probably saying, give me a shot on Novocaine and let me back in there, but we can't afford to lose Eric Rebels. He's one of our leaders on defense. And Vestavia's got a 4th down, looks like, Barry. 4th and about 2, and they're not backing off.
And don't believe they've got a special team in either. Head gives him his instructions and brings his team up to the line. They're going with 3 backs now.
Patriots take time out. Like they were in a power eye that time. That's Homewood's 2nd time out, a spotter, Mike Whitten tells us. So Homewood will have 1 timeout remaining in the first half. I don't know that Vestavia's used any timeouts.
I don't believe they have. We've got 8:47 now remaining in the half. If you're just joining us, this is a scoreless game from Waldrop Stadium here in Homewood. It's been largely a defensive battle so far. A couple of bright moments on offense, but 0-0 on the scoreboard.
Maybe we want to remind everyone of the Homewood High School Athletic Association. Carson Thompson's this year's president. The Athletic Association is having a great year so far with the barbecue and the program sales. You know, a great deal of revenue comes to the athletic programs at Homewood High School from the sale of these ads and from the sponsors of this telecast. And we just want to remind everyone to please patronize the sponsors and the supporters of Homewood High Athletics, because it's an expensive endeavor to have as many girls and boys sports we have at Homewood High School. And I appreciate the job the Homewood High Athletic Association does, and you know, they're tremendously proud of our coaching staff and our athletes at Homewood High School.
Well, as they look at 4th and about 1.5.
We got a flag, and it comes in the defensive secondary.
We've got a delay of the game against Vestavia, and that pretty well assures they'll bring in the punting team.
That may have been intentional, Barry. Vestavia may have tried to draw us offside.
Reasonably certain that was the plan.
They should know we're smarter than that.
Just to keep you posted, we're getting a lot of tape on Eric Rebel's foot on the bench. Eric's in a great deal of pain there, and we just hope that ankle's going to be all right. Well, Davis and Greer are back for Homewood. Beautiful punt that time. Beautiful hanging punt by Jay Wagner.
Jay Wagner is a good athlete.
A do-everything kind of guy, and it goes into the end zone for a touchback. We'll start him off fresh, 1st and 10 from our own 20. That was a 43-yard punt, and I'd love to know the hang time on it, because it stayed up there for, it seemed like, I thought it was going to hit that beautiful full moon we've got tonight.
Jay Wagner's an all-around athlete, plays baseball, basketball. Believe it or not, he may be better in baseball than he is in football.
I'll tell you a funny story that his dad told me earlier this week when we have a break in the action here. Jay looks him over and gives to Robert Davis. First man, no, gives to Kenneth Evans. I'm sorry, first man through.
Well, that's what we got to do to keep defense loose. Kenneth got about 4 yards on that play, and I think you might see Jay keeping the ball in option soon.
You might do that. Just to break them of the pattern of keying on Robert Davis. Clemmer was in on the stop that time for Vestavia. Brings up second and about 8. That time Robert Davis has it off right tackle. A good long game, the kind of game that we've come to get used to. It looks like, depending on the spot, we might have enough for the first down, and indeed we do.
That tackle was made by 29 Kelly Alcott, and I'm told he's a very strong guy. He's another senior. I think he bench presses 300 pounds. That's not bad for a guy who weighs 200 pounds.
Well, 7:50 now remaining in the half. That's Homewood's second first down of the half, which gives you an indication of the lack of offensive endeavor we've had so far tonight on both sides. Well, that was well read. Absolutely no doubt about it. I believe Nick Moreno was in on that for Vestavia.
Alan Bamberg, also for the Rebels, was there waiting on Robert.
The pitch out a second later, and we'd have had it pitched into the hands of a Vestavia defensive man coming in.
Option is a beautiful thing to watch, but we lost 5 yards on that thing, and you know, I just soon see Jay drop back and throw about a 73-yard touchdown pass on this play.
I believe I could take that. Well, they bring Alexander Adamson in motion to the right. Jay's looking to pass deflected. A hard hit on the sideline over there. I believe the ball was tipped, making it just out of his reach.
Dwight made a good effort on that play. It's going to bring up third and long. You know, Homewood's capable of breaking this game open just any time. But I think you're going to see Homewood go there right here.
Jay's back in his pocket. He's got good blocking.
Good protection.
Fires a pass downfield to 24, Alexander Adamson, but it looks like he's going to be short. Wayne, I don't believe he's probably still within 4 yards of that first down. So.
Excellent protection that time by Steve Carpenter, Chris Lusko, Chris Cowan, Stanley Lee. Good job, offensive line.
That was an important play, even though we didn't get enough for the first down, and then it gave us a little bit better field position for the punt that's coming up now.
Chris Cowan's back in. Wes is going to snap the ball.
Wes is in on snaps. Jay Robertson is back to punt it. He'll punt from his own 25-yard line. The line of scrimmage is the 38. Jay gets another one away. A long hanging punt. Wagoner takes it in at the 25, cuts right. Met head on there by number 88. For Homewood, Michael Flint. Michael goes low and stops him.
Jay Wagner does not have blinding speed, but he is very elusive. Good field position for the Rebels.
A 35-yard punt that time. So Jay is in that mid-30s range with the punts tonight, and that's the kicking game in a defensive contest like this is going to continue to be very, very important.
I was watching Jay before the game. He was punting the ball real well.
Vestavia sends Mollison in motion. He's open. The pass taken in by Ryan Daniel, but I believe they're going to signal that it's incomplete. That may have been a trap on that one.
Eric Rebel's back. Eric's not running real well on that ankle, but you think he's going to tell Coach Gann that he can't play? I doubt it.
I don't think so.
You see Damon Salford looking at the sideline for his defensive signal. We'll suck it down in 10. Looks for possible reverse. He's going to go deep.
He's got his man in the open. Brian Greer.
I'm afraid Eugene
Oliver in to trip him up.
Eugene took the bait, head faked the short pass and went deep. Number 19, Jeff Mollison brought it in.
Excellent play for Vestavia. The ball now on the Homewood 19-yard line. That was a 41-yard pass play from Paul Head.
Vestavia takes their first time out. This time for that defense, Michael Flint and Michael Coggin and Jonathan Hammaker and Eric Rabels and Dusty Smith, Eugene Oliver. We haven't said much about Skipper tonight. You know, when a defensive back's playing well, a lot of times you don't call his name because the offense a lot of times they just don't throw in his zone.
Well, that's the case.
I think maybe that's the case here tonight. They respect Skipper and they're not throwing in his zone, but
well, it's clear we got our hands full tonight. What would be your thoughts on that? On what the coach may be telling him right now? He's got to obviously be aware of Head's capability as far as a passing quarterback. By the same token, Head's running out of room now. Things get tight inside the 20-yard line, and it might be time to bring those linebackers up close and watch for those runs around left and right that Jay Wagner is so good at.
I think we'll stick with the 4-4. You know, Head is a very heady player.
And there's that run around the left. Excellent play by Dusty Smith. Woo! What a tackle.
Dusty Smith and Elvin Skipper on the tackle. Now, I've noticed Head does not have a hot receiver on most plays. Looks like he, sometimes goes to second receiver. He's very heady quarterback. You missed that.
Yes, I caught that.
But I think you'll see Homewood stay in the 4-4. Like you said, it's going to be they're going to bring those linebackers up tight right here. Wagner's loose.
An excellent tackle, but Wagner's loose and he's into the end zone. And Vestavia hits the scoreboard first at 4:34 remaining in the second quarter on an absolutely magnificent pitch from Paul Head to Jay Wagner around the left side. That sweep good for 21 yards and a Vestavia score. They bring in their extra point kicker, number 5, Eric McMahon. I'm sorry, number 31 is their kicker. Number 31, Chris Witt, and 5, McMahon is holding. The kick is up, and it's good. We got timeout on the field. The score is Vestavia 7 and Homewood nothing. 3 plays, 60 yards, a minute and 10 seconds, and there's your result.
No disrespect to Vestavia, but Dudley says we're not going to have the instant replay on this one. I'm sure the Homewood fans would just soon not look at it again either.
Well, it was Paul Head paid the price. He was smothered right at the point of release, but he pitched out just perfectly to Jay Wagner, and around left end he went, scampering down the left sideline and into the end zone for the score.
Well, Eric Rebels had to come off. The ankle is really bothering him. And, the big play, the 41-yard pass, really set that up, and we can't afford to give up the big play. We're down 7-0. If I recall, this may be the first time we've been behind the whole year.
I believe you're right.
So it's going to be a test for us. But I know the Patriots have the character and the pride to come back.
Brett Wheeler has it teed up for Vestavia, and he's ready to kick it off. Greer and Davis and Skipper back. He really got his toe into it. Elvin Skipper has it in his own end zone, and it's an automatic touchback. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line and play it from there.
What a great kick by Rhett Wheeler. Unbelievable how many great kickers we have in Jefferson County.
And it really is. There was a nice article in one of the papers about that just this week, just field goal kickers. Of course, we've seen Tim Rogers from Mountain Brook. We've also seen the Thompson place kicker.
Soccer's done a great deal for place kicking in high school football. Right? Homewood in the eye. Got Brian Greer to the near side, Dwight to the far side. Jay zips it, great pass.
Just a little off the fingertips of Dwight Whalen.
Well, Jeff Colvin, senior defensive back for the Rebels, came up and greeted Dwight just as the ball arrived, and it was a no-go. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you something, Danny Callis has given us total yardage to this point in the game at 4:31 remaining. 33 yards for Homewood and 134 for Vestavia, much of that coming on that long pass play. Jay on the give to Kenneth Evans, off right tackle. That one was for no gain. Looks like 3rd and 9 now.
Vestavia 6A school. You know, this is a natural rivalry between Vestavia and Homewood. We don't play that many large schools, but Vestavia Mount Brook, you know, big prestige games, and you know, we were talking earlier about some of the great games we've had. We've had some tremendous games with Vestavia in the past few years. I think Vestavia just beaten us twice in the last 5 years. Incomplete.
The pass was deflected, I believe, as Jay let it go. He had a lot of pressure back there from Vestavia's number 60, Jared Sinclair, despite protection. That brings up a kicking situation. Jay will go into punt formation.
Wes is going to snap it from the 20-yard line, and Jay needs another one of those 56-yarders like he had earlier in the year. I really hate to see Eric Rebels sitting out. He's down on the sideline here with the ice on his ankle. But maybe he make a return in the second half like Robert Davis did last week.
Well, that time they blocked it.
They've been close all night.
They were coming all along, and that time they blocked it. Primarily the pressure was from the left side. Number 22 for Vestavia, Ryan Daniel, was one of the first ones in. And that time, we had to eat it.
Patriots got their back to the wall now. Vestavia comes out in the eye, and this is a big series right here.
Same play that Wagner scored on the time before. He goes end over end. The clock runs now with 3:22 remaining in the half.
Head really does a good job with that option. You know, we got to get together on that. Our defensive guys communicate with each other on the option play before the snap, of course, and generally someone's assigned the quarterback and someone's assigned the pitch man. In that case, we just need to get to the quarterback a little bit sooner.
The give is to the first man through. That's Ryan Mann, the big fullback.
Vestavia's got momentum now. They're really fired up. Homewood needs to dig down deep, try and shut them down right here.
That's a first down, Wayne. So they're first. They got 4 times to go at it from inside the 3. Hogue back into the game. Steve coming out. West looks like he's still favoring that left foot.
I've never seen a team with so many sprained ankles.
Big fumble. I believe Homewood's got it. And we're going to look at that one on an instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. That was the hardest hit I've seen this season, Wayne.
I didn't see who popped him, but Scott Hogue came up with the ball, and we're going to take a look at it right here. That's a break that Homewood needed, and needed it badly.
Here it comes again. Now watch Wagner as he comes through the first time. There's the hit. The ball squirts out. Eugene Oliver falls on the ball.
Right, maybe Lee Thompson popped him at the line.
Absolutely. Absolutely magnificent defensive play. That's the kind of play that'll turn some momentum around. Now the give to Davis off the left side. A flag on the play. We'll have to wait and see what the official calls it.
I'm afraid it's going to be against our offensive line.
Holding against Homewood is the preliminary indication. We're inside the 10. That's going to take it half the distance.
Well, we don't need to get real flashy right here. Maybe keep the ball on the ground and grind out a first down. And maybe consider ourselves fortunate going into halftime.
7-0.
7-0.
Well, 2 minutes and 10 seconds now remain.
Great hit by Lee Thompson. And if it wasn't Lee that hit him, I apologize, but it looked like Lee to me on the replay.
All right, Jay has looks like about a 2nd and 14 now. Robert Davis around the right side, but that's going nowhere.
Vestavia, Oliver, Robert Davis like a cheap suit.
Well, brings up 2nd now and 10. 1:43 remaining in the half. We might isolate on that clock after a little bit here when it gets down tight. Let you watch the half as we do.
Vestavia's got timeout or two left, and I'm sure they're going to make us punt the ball if we can't pick up the first down. Right? Well, we got 2 tries to pick up the first down.
There's the give to Davis off right tackle.
It's tough going in there, Barry.
It really is. He's out for maybe a couple of yards.
I'm afraid Vestavia is handling our offensive line right now. Vestavia does take the timeout. They're going to try and hold us here and make us punt the ball away. Minute and 13 to go. They will probably take a timeout on this next play. Mike says they got 1 timeout left.
There's their second timeout, so they have 1 remaining. We'll set the situation for you. It's coming up on 3rd and about 7. 1 minute and 13 seconds remaining, as you can see in the lower left-hand corner of your screen.
Barry, want to remind everyone that if they have a public announcement they would like, regarding the high school athletic program or any function at school, to please let us know so we can get on the air. This is one purpose of this broadcast, is to make those kind of announcements, and so we just want to encourage everyone to pass that information on to us.
Yeah, this is an excellent opportunity to do that.
Well, I believe my man Eric Rebels is up walking around, or they may have taken him to the dressing room, Barry.
I believe they did. He's leaving right now, Wayne, going down through the tunnel into the dressing room. I believe Eric is not going to return tonight. He's really, really weak on that ankle.
That's a shame. That's going to be a great burden for the Homewood defense.
Wright Whalen comes in motion to the left, but the give is to Robert Davis. Hit initially, but keeps going, and he's through for a first down. Magnificent running by Robert Davis.
You think Vestavia regrets calling that timeout?
They might. At this point, 1:06 now remaining, as you can see.
All right. I don't know if a triple reverse here, but I wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Newton put it up from right here. We got a great deal of confidence in our passing game, and we got time to put it in end zone.
2 receivers wide to the left, Whalen and Adamson. Jay Roberson changing the call at the line. Clock runs with 44 seconds remaining. The give is to Kenneth Evans off right tackle.
It's going to be close to a first down.
Clock continues to run.
Heads up play by Jay. He's done a great job of checking off at the line this year.
2nd down and 1. Homewood's looking to the sideline asking, what do we do, Coach?
Well, I think they wanted the tight end to stay in there, Damon to stay in, and
Damon Southwood asking, where do I go?
7 seconds to go in the first half.
Now this will be the last play from scrimmage. And the give to Robert Davis off left tackle as time runs out. Well, that's the end of a very defensive first half of play. The score here from Waldrop Stadium in Homewood is Vestavia 7 and Homewood nothing. We'll take this time out for a message from our commercial sponsors and be back for halftime activities in just a minute. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
At NTW, you'll always find the largest selection of quality brand tires at the lowest prices. At NTW, you'll find Michelin, Bridgestone, Dunlop, Pirelli, Goodyear, and many more. NTW also offers alignments, brake service, as well as shock and strut replacement using quality Monroe shocks. And NTW's expert service staff won't keep you waiting for hours because NTW believes in fast, quality service. NTW now in 3 Birmingham locations, Homewood, Roebuck, and now in Inverness.
It's Piggly Wiggly Food Stores for quality foods, friendly service, and fair prices. You'll find a wide selection of the freshest seasonal produce brought in daily, and the finest heavy Western USDA choice beef, and of course, plump, fresh-cut chickens never frozen. And Piggly Wiggly serves hot, fresh deli foods of the finest quality served up daily, the next best to home cooking. And Piggly Wiggly Food Stores are proud of our friendly people serving your needs in Mountain Brook, Homewood, and Southside. It's Piggly Wiggly, the finest food stores around.
When you think insurance, think Buddy Wade. Auto, home, business, life, or health, no matter what your insurance needs may be, Buddy Wade is your local State Farm agent with the insurance experience you want. From his office at the corner of Palisades Boulevard and Columbiana Road, Buddy has served Homewood and surrounding areas for over 15 years. When you think insurance, think experience. Think Buddy Wade. Come by and visit his office or call 942-4444.
Does your money market or savings account earn anywhere near the prime rate?
Well, we're back here in Homewood to watch the kickoff of the second half. If you're just joining us, you didn't miss much. I guess we could say it that way.
Especially if you're a Homewood fan.
Especially if you're a Homewood fan. We're
Barry, I was down in the dressing room at halftime. Eric Reeble spent most of the intermission period trying to convince the coaches and trainers that he's okay, but I just don't see how he's going to be able to get back in the ball game.
Well, Vestavia will take over and start now from about their own 32-yard line. The score here at Waldrop Stadium is 7-0. Vestavia scored on a Jay Wagner end around, a perfect pitch out after a long drive, and that's been the only score in the game so far.
Damon South and Eugene Oliver on the tackle for the Patriots. You know, the first 5 minutes of each half is the most important in a ball game. At least that's what the coaches tell us, and it's important Homewood shut Vestavia down right here. We got second and about 3.
I agree with you, Wayne. Homewood needs to set the tone defensively in this very first set of downs. We'll try to cover some of the first half statistics for you as we have a chance to work it in. Right now, Head gives to Ryan Mann, his fullback. That's going to be plenty for the first down. Just looking at things like first downs, Homewood only had 3 first downs in the first half, Wayne. They rushed the ball 20 times for 38 yards, attempted 9 passes and completed 2 for 23 yards. So the total yardage was 61 yards for Homewood in the first half. Slightly off the mark from what we've established so far this year. We punted the ball 3 times for a little bit over 32 yards per punt as an average. Fumbled the ball once and lost it on that time.
Good tackle, Jonathan Hammerker. Jonathan fought off the block, brought him down. Dusty Smith was in on that previous play, along with Eugene Oliver.
For Vestavia in the first half, they had 5 first downs, 17 rushes for 89 yards. They passed 7 times, completed 3, had 1 interception, passing yardage 53 yards for a total of 142 yards of offense. 2 punts for 35.5 yards per punt average. Paul Head on the keeper, that time tripped up after about a 4-yard gain by number 73 for Homewood, Chris Lesko.
I believe that was.
Or was it 33?
That was 33.
I'm sorry. The eyes go first, right?
I didn't think they'd put big Chris Lesko at 280 pounds in the defensive backfield.
That was Elvin Skipper.
Another great halftime performance by the Homewood Patriot Band and the Star Spangled Girls.
No question about it. Once again, I think we won the battle of the bands on that one. Notice on the sidelines, Eric Reebles is snapping the ball, trying out that ankle that's heavily taped up.
Flag down.
Looks like it might be a holding penalty. We'll have to see. But not holding at all. Illegal procedure against Vestavia.
The option plays hurt us in the first half, Barry, and it looks like Vestavia's going to come back with it again this time. Sure, the Homewood coaches got together and tried to come up with a scheme to slow down that option. But, you know, I'm hoping when we come back in the second half on offense, maybe we can throw to the tight end a little bit more, use the fullback a little bit more. But right now, we got to get the ball back. It's third down.
About 7. Head is back to pass. He's a left-handed passer, rolling left, into and out of the arms of the intended receiver.
Good hit by Brian.
Number on him. Brian Greer on the defensive side there. That was number 22 for Vestavia that took that hard hit. That's Ryan Daniel, the wide receiver.
Double return men, Davis and Greer. Ball's going to be snapped about the 49-yard line. It's been a game of field position so far.
Well, it really has. A hard-fought defensive contest. Homewood in with the rush that time. A high hanging punt. Fair catch called for, and the ball goes into the end zone, so they'll bring it out to the 20. And Homewood will start there and see if we can establish some offense.
Smart play by Robert Davis that time. Let the ball roll in the end zone.
A 51-yard punt for Vestavia. Good play by the defense that time, containing Vestavia, forcing them to punt. And as you indicated, the first 5 minutes of this third quarter are going to be real telling in terms of what's going to happen the rest of this game. Jay gives to Robert Davis right over the center. And yardage in the middle of the Vestavia defensive line has been tough to come by all night long.
Well, Jonathan Hammaker, Steve Carpenter, Chris Cowan, Stanley Lee, Chris Lusko, all working real hard in there, but Vestavia very tough on defense. Maybe from misdirection, maybe a gator play this time.
Pitch out goes to Robert Davis around the right side. Vestavia has good pursuit, and they've had good pursuit around the corners all night long. Despite Robert's speed, they've been able to stay up with him and in numbers. And that's, in a one-on-one situation, I think Robert Davis can get by you, but when you've got 4 out there, it's tough.
Rebels linebackers very active. Stewart, Olcott, McCullough, and Hamby. Stewart, by the way, has 3 interceptions on the year. It's a very active linebacking core for the Rebels.
Well, a gain of 4 that time. Call it third and about 4.5 now for the first down.
Jay changes the play. Robert off tackle.
Left tackle.
Robert running hard.
Well, one tackler back there grabbing a hold of him, and that was number 2 for Vestavia, Brant Goodman.
I tell you, my hat is off to that
guy. On the field. May have hurt his leg that time.
Let's hope it's just cramps.
Maybe just cramps. He's.
My hat goes off to number 2.
That's Brant Goodman.
I've never seen anyone hang on like he did and bring Robert down. It's very seldom you see one man bring Robert Davis down. He made a good tackle and may have saved a first down. Matter of fact, he did.
Well, we certainly hope that Robert is all right. He's getting up sort of easily. When you look at that play again, Robert's coming off.
Let's hope his ankle's not injured again.
We'll go back to action now. Weststeed in to snap it back. Jay Roberson back to punt. Jay gets the punt away, but it's deflected that time. We've got to stop the Vestavia defense from coming in around that right side. Wagner's got the ball and takes it out of bounds in the face of pursuit. Vestavia, again, though, Wayne, with excellent field position. They'll start from the Homewood 45-yard line.
No one touched the man from the outside that time.
A 29-yard punt that time, but again, I believe it was deflected right as it left Jay's foot.
I believe you're right, and good field position for the Rebels.
They start from the Homewood 46. Wagner, the ball carrier, up and over the middle. Play good for about 3 yards that time. There's a shot on the Homewood bench. They're looking at Robert Davis's, looks like his right ankle. They've got the shoe off, and they're going to take a look at it now.
Robert says, I'm okay. Put some tape on it. Let me go back in. Well, this is a big over-the-mountain rivalry, as we said, and I believe I just saw Mr. Al Hill, official photographer of the Homewood Patriots.
Vestavia sends a man in motion to the right. The give, though, is to man off left tackle. A host of Homewood tacklers follow him, but only after about a 20-yard gain.
Big play, big play.
Skipper in on the stop that time. Brian Greer also back there on the right side.
Vestavia, very good running football team. And, Head throws the ball just enough to keep the defense off balance. And,
well, and the defense is is doing the very best they can, but they've just got to miss Eric Rebels in the middle of all the action out there.
Option again hurts us. The option has really hurt us here tonight. Again, looks like no one's getting to the quarterback.
Word from Danny Callies on our sidelines, on the Homewood sidelines, is that Robert Davis, they are looking at his ankle. This is not a situation with a cramp. So they are taking a look at that ankle.
There you see the Patriot defense. Damon's got a little equipment problem there.
Tell you, Wayne, we need to set us up a MASH unit on the sidelines down here and take care of all the injured players.
Well, it's a shame, you know, big game. We got at least half a dozen key players banged up. And, you know, this game brings in a lot of college scouts too. I just saw Coach Sullivan from Auburn down the way here in the press box. So there's a lot of scouts here tonight checking out the talent.
Well, they give us to man off right tackle. He runs into the middle of the Homewood line and knows where to go on that particular play. Stopped by Damon Southwood, who obviously got his equipment taken care of. Damon right in the middle of it, the last man to get up.
Well, Homewood won't quit, I can tell you that.
Michael Coggin also in on that tackle.
Michael's young sophomore, has a great future ahead of him. You know, tough guy.
All right, it's 3rd and about 1, Wayne. This is a key play. Right over the middle goes Wagner. Looks like he may have it. Let's see where they spot it down.
Looks like Michael Flint, Scott Hogue, and Brian Greer in on the tackle. There you see the Patriot cheerleaders.
Well, the referees have signaled a first down. So, with 5:09 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Vestavia has the ball, 1st and 10 on the Homewood 14-yard line.
Clock running time for the defense to tighten up. 1st and 10. Look like Vestavia goes for 2 tight ends. Oh, that guy runs hard.
McCullough, number 44, the ball carrier for Vestavia.
Like Kenneth Evans on the tackle for the Patriots.
You know, one thing we're aware of as we get down, there's a shot of Eric on the sideline. Look at the tape on his left ankle. They got the shoe welded to his ankle there. And he's feeling it and testing it out. But I believe, like you said, he wants back in there just about as bad as anyone on that sideline right now.
All right, unbalanced line to the right for Vestavia. Head back to throw. Good pressure.
He got it away just in time, but he paid the price.
Damon Southard and Kenneth Evans all over the quarterback Paul Head.
Head is limping as he gets up. He took a hard hit that time, a hard hit from Kenneth Evans and from Damon Southwood.
This is going to bring up 3rd and about 7, and this, if we can hold them right here, the defense has done their job.
The coaches are really telling them what to watch out for here.
Vestavia takes a timeout, and I believe Head's got a bad ankle.
He may not be 100% right now.
Smart
looks
play.
Looks like his right ankle might be the one that's causing him some problems.
Coach Thorson, Coach Jones.
Calm and relaxed as they get the message out to the team. Absolutely, we're joking about it, but this is probably one of the key plays in the ball game here. Homewood needs to contain with third and what?
Third
about 7.
Third and about 7, I believe. There you see the Homewood Patriot faithful. Good-looking bunch of kids right there. We're talking about the girls, of course, not the boys.
The crowd's another good one tonight.
It is, Barry. We're almost packed on our side of the stadium, and Vestavia brought quite a few people like they always do. You know that the stands over there are bigger than they appear.
The Star Spangled Girls, part of the Homewood Band. Band director Pat Morrow up there directing, even while he sits. Pat does a magnificent job with that band, and once again, as you probably know, the Homewood Band will go to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
2 tight ends in for Vestavia. Give to the fullback. Slow developing play. Kenneth rides him down.
The fullback Ryan Mann is the workhorse in the Vestavia backfield. The stop by Kenneth Evans and also Brian Greer in on that stop.
Vestavia's going to try a field goal right here.
Well, they're on about the 6-yard line, I guess. So they'll bring in their field goal kicker, and that is number 31, Chris Witt.
Well, we don't have a 25-second clock here, but it looks like Vestavia's going to take all of the 25 seconds allotted them to kick this thing. That's good.
Up and good. Well, another point goes up on the scoreboard. Timeout on the field with 3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The score is Vestavia 10 and Homewood nothing. It was a 22-yard field goal that time by Chris Witt, capping a drive that took better part of this part of the third quarter, Wayne. They had tremendous clock control here.
Well, the big thing there was the Homewood defense we gave, but we didn't break. We gave them 3 points. We can overcome 10 points. We could overcome 14 points, but with 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go, Homewood did not need to give up 7 points there.
That drive covered 54 yards with 9 plays and ran 4 minutes, 12 seconds off the clock. Vestavia's number 1, Rhett Wheeler, has it teed up. Brian Greer, Michael Andrzejewski, and Elvin Skipper back to receive the kickoff. Looks like it's coming towards the out-of-bounds.
Smart play by Michael.
Smart play indeed. Goes out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. We'll have to tee that one up again from the 35 and do this over.
I don't know if the camera got a shot of that, but little Bert Newton just got ran over by one of the Vestavia players on the kickoff. I guess Vestavia's train just hit anything in a red shirt.
Well, they got a trainer checking him. Jack Stevens is checking him. He looks like he took a pretty good lick, though, from what I can see.
Well, that's a shame. Hopefully Bert's going to be okay.
He'll shake it off and get right back at it.
Barry, we just had Will Bearden drop by, one of last year's seniors. Well,
I missed him. I missed seeing him. Will,
how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
All right.
See you.
How's everything at Bama?
It's pretty good. School's tough. Real tough.
Well, you're practicing with the Crimson Tide, I understand?
Yes, sir. Yeah, everything's going pretty well. I'm kicking every day. I'm going in, have us working out a lot, getting us strong for next year and stuff. They got a pretty strong kicking core as of now. Doyle's a pretty good kicker. He's real good.
Yeah, I'd say he's a pretty good kicker. Right, Michael Andrzejewski on the return.
On kickoff, that's about the best field position we've had tonight.
We all know that you're a great soccer player. You plan to play soccer at Alabama, or what's the plan?
As long as football continues, time probably won't allow for that. But just depending on what happens in the future, that may come into play. Never knows. Could happen. But if football doesn't work out, it'd definitely be an option. I love soccer also.
Will, are you place kicking exclusively, or are you punting some?
I'm place kicking.
Place kicking.
I tried to punt for a while, and I just realized you can't pick up something that you haven't done in a long time. Abandon something you've been doing for so long. It's kind of useless.
Okay. You saw the quick pass out to Brian Greer, and we're going to lose about 7 yards on the play. Nothing seems to be going right for Homewood right now. Well, maybe you can change our luck a little bit.
Well, one thing that's going right is that Robert Davis is back in the ball game.
We're still checking on Bert Newton. Bert got ran over on the sidelines inadvertently, but we hope he's going to be all right.
From 2nd and 15, Robert Davis with the ball. The ball's loose. The referee signaled that Vestavia has recovered. The ball got away. Robert thought for certain he was down by the time that ball came out.
Well, it's just that second effort there, Barry, caused the fumble. A lot of people would not have fumbled because they wouldn't have been given the effort that Robert gave. Still say Vestavia's not going to shut him down all night. And
I don't think so, but the clock runs now with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Vestavia again with excellent field position. The ball on Homewood's 27-yard line. Paul Head pitched back to Wagner on a reverse. Wagner hands off to number 22, Ryan Daniel, and the Homewood defense covered him very well that time.
Michael Flint stayed home on that play. The defense has been trained to look for that play, and Vestavia doesn't mind running reverse from any place on the field.
Well, no gain at all on that play. Maybe a loss of about a half a yard. Call it 2nd and 10 still.
It's gut check time for the defense.
It really is. Paul Head's going to pass, the left-handed quarterback to pass. He has his receiver out in the flat on the left-hand side. That's Ryan Daniel, the receiver for Vestavia. That play good for about 7 yards, brings up 3rd and 3 now.
You know, number 19, Millison, hurt us earlier tonight on a 41-yard pass. And, matter of fact, he's got 11 receptions on the year.
I believe Elvin Skipper's going to take himself out of the ball game. He's got a shoulder problem. And I'm not sure if it's just a pull or what the problem is, but he's going to come out. Riegel's on the sideline. Skipper on the sideline.
Millison in motion. Head keeps it.
Head on a keeper. He's got his first down and more.
Missed tackle.
Inside the 10-yard line, Wayne.
Well, I think this option has really caught our defense off guard. You know, we've been looking for Wagner all night. We look for the fullback, but Head has proven he can run the football.
No question about it, and he's also proven he can throw the football. That was well, they're on the 8-yard line now, inside the 10. Wes Steve in on that stop. Brian Greer in on that stop. Time for necks to stiffen just a little bit.
Power I. He's met at the line by 79, Jonathan Hammaker, 88, Michael Flint.
Michael Flint.
And that was Alcott, one of the linebackers. They moved to fullback. We want to thank Will Bearden for coming in, and Will, wish you the best of luck.
Thanks. I appreciate you having me. Nice to see you.
Good seeing you, Will. Take care. All right.
One of Homewood's most dependable place kickers for several years there, Will Bearden.
All right, we're at 2nd and 8 now from about the 8-yard line.
Good game tackling by the Patriots that time. Eugene Oliver came up.
Eugene Oliver
real strong.
That's the end of the third quarter, folks, so we'll change ends of the field, and while we do that, we'll take time out. The score 10-0, Vestavia over Homewood. We'll be back after a message from one of our sponsors. You're watching Homewood Patriot Football.
Since 1925, the ministry of Dawson Memorial Baptist Church, along with its music, education, and recreation programs, have been designed for the physical, mental, and spiritual growth of the individual. No one is ever a stranger at Dawson Memorial. And we invite you to attend Sunday school, our morning worship services, church training, and evening worship. If you can't be with us in person, join us for morning worship each Sunday on Channel 42. South Trust Bank is pleased to support Homewood High School athletics and wishes the Patriot football team a winning season. Whether it's community service or quality service at one of our convenient offices, South Trust Bank is working harder for you.
All right, back at Waldrop Stadium here. The ball on the 3-yard line, it looks like. And we're in a fight for our lives here, folks. Vestavia in possession, the score 10-0. And we're in the fourth quarter of play as Paul Head looks him over.
Fumble.
He's dropped for a big loss. The ball gets away. And who is that getting up but Damon Southward? Absolutely magnificent defensive play.
Damon came in from his defensive end position, just destroyed Paul Head, straightened the ball, and Homewood gets a big break. You know, we're not at the point where we got to throw the ball on every down, Barry, but I think you're going to see a majority of offensive plays with Jay putting it up.
Interesting point made by Danny Callies, our spotter on the sidelines and statistician. The grass on this end of the field is extremely wet and slippery because it hasn't been played on for a little bit. The dew is set in. We've reached the dew point. Footing might be a little treacherous down there. And I'll tell you, Wayne, that's the kind of momentum you need. You need a big turnover like that. You need a long, sustained drive to get us back into this game. Well, Mike Whitten points out a quick touchdown would be better than a long, sustained drive. I'd have to agree.
Well, I think they're going to hit us with a penalty here. It's going to back us up, and it'll be second down and about 12.
Illegal procedure called against Homewood.
There you see the Homewood crowd.
Yeah, that may have been a slip on the wet grass.
Good to see Bert Newton, our ball boy, doing his job again after he got run over by the Vestavia player.
I'm glad he's all right. He really took a hard lick.
Okay, Homewood with their backs to the wall. Vestavia in a 5-man front.
Jay gives to Robert Davis off left tackle. Davis up out over the 15-yard line. I see another yellow flag down.
Well, you know, every time Robert gets the ball, people expect him to do something, and it's unfortunate that we've had to put this much on Robert's shoulders here tonight. We look like we're counting on him making the big play.
Well, we're having trouble with our penalties too. That one holding. So we'll gain a few and lose a few as they mark off the 10-yard penalty against Homewood. Takes it back to the 6-yard line.
Well, the second half we've had no field position at all, and you know, the first half we had pretty good field position, couldn't get any points on the board. But I would not be surprised to see Homewood take it down the field right now. We need it right now.
You know, we've been penalized 4 times for 24 yards. That's a completed pass to Kenneth Evans out at about the 15 or 16-yard line, and we've got another flag on the play.
Well, the wheels are kind of coming off right now for the Patriots, but
see if we can get a preliminary indication here.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
That's an ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, we've got plenty of time. We've got a quarterback with plenty of savvy. There's Elvin Skipper on the sideline. Looks like he got a shoulder problem.
Still working with that right shoulder. He really must have strained it.
Greg Penny is our trainer. Does an excellent job. Not many high schools have a full-time trainer in their athletic program. Greg Penny does an excellent job.
He's had plenty to do this season, unfortunately. Well, it's second at about 15.
Good strong throw, out of bounds.
Jay threw it out of bounds. The intended receiver, Dwight Whalen. 10:22 now remaining in the ball game. That'll bring up third and a mile.
Well, we need a first down, and we need to get the ball in position to punt if we don't make a first down. And looks like we need to reach what the 16-yard line, 15-yard line for a first down.
Right around the 16.
You can bet Vestavia's got to send everybody this time.
Jay on the keeper. No, Jay gives up of right tackle. Kenneth Evans.
Okay, the Patriot kick team comes in. Wes Steve will snap it. Jay's going to be standing in his own end zone.
He'll be back deep in his own end zone. We need a good one here.
Well, no one on the Patriot side is happy about the turn of events, but, you know, we're fortunate to just be down 10-0.
They're not rushing this time. They've got the return on. Wagner takes it in. It is at Homewood 42. Good pursuit, but they miss him. He's around the right side, down inside the 20-yard line.
Well, he is so quick.
He is fast.
He looks so much quicker than he did last year. Well, the Patriots did a good job of holding the rush out that time. Jay got a good kick away, but we just couldn't get down there in time to slow down Mr. Jay Wagner.
Well, a 35-yard punt by Jay Roberson, but with somebody of his caliber and his speed, hang time becomes real important.
Wagner carries, met at the line by 88 Michael Flint and 41 Kenneth Evans.
That was a 35-yard punt and a 27-yard return.
There you see Mr. Wes Gray.
There's Wes Gray.
One of our volunteer cameramen. You know, these guys do such a great job, you wouldn't know that they're not professionals.
They do a very professional job.
That's just an example of a parent contributing his time and do what he can to help out the Homewood program.
It gives to Wagner again. Wagner's inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. And you know, you would anticipate Vestavia playing a very conservative ball control kind of offense now with just a little under 9 minutes remaining in this game, and yet they still continue to grind out the yardage.
It's going to be 3rd and 5. The tackle there was made by Elvin Skipper and Brian Greer. I think you're right, Barry. 8 minutes, 35 seconds to go in the game. You're going to see Vestavia just keep it on the ground right here.
Very conservative. They know we've got to score twice. And there's plenty of time left to do that. We don't need to get down about it, but we've got to turn some things around and make some things happen.
Vestavia takes time out.
So Paul Head is going to talk about it.
Now Mike gives me 2 fingers. I don't know if that means we've got 2 left, or they have 2 left, or
that's their second time
that's
out.
Their second. There you see Jack Munger. Jack wore his red flannels tonight. It is cooler than it has been.
It's cool out. It's cool out tonight.
Of course, it'd be hard for us to get a shot of Dave Rothoff. Dave's up in the press box. This guy's doing a great job.
Well, as you can see, there's Dave. We've got 3 cameras working for you tonight. And not only that, we've got Dudley Heineman down here switching it and giving us the instant replays. We're delighted that you're with us tonight. We wish we had a little bit different score to tell you, though. I also might want to say, Wayne, we said this in the first half and need to say it often. Thanks so much to the support of our fine sponsors on the broadcast here, because without not only the volunteer effort of a lot of folks working on this, but without our sponsors, we wouldn't be on the air either.
Maybe want to remind all the boys and girls of Homewood, it's basketball time, and they're welcome to go by Homewood Park and sign up for the Homewood Basketball League. Games will be played at Homewood Park. Need to get down there and get signed up in the next week or so.
The defense stiffens. The give is to Wagner around the left side. Good for maybe 2 yards.
Michael Flint.
Big stop by Michael
Brian
Flint.
Greer. Vestavia's got 4th down coming up. It's going to be about 4th and 3.
Our Danny Callie's on the sideline points out just a few minutes ago that our boys are tired. This has been a tough, very physical game, and that defense has been on the field a long time tonight.
Vestavia came in with a record of 3-1. You know, they were upset last week by Pelham, and I'm sure maybe they were looking ahead to the Patriots tonight. One reason they may have been upset. Vestavia takes another timeout.
Now this is 2 in the last minute.
Well, that'll leave them 1 to go.
That's their 3rd timeout. Leaves them 1 to go. You got to wonder what the problem is here. That's not something that you would expect them to do. They want to run that clock as much as possible.
They were looking to burn off as much time as possible, and then realized they did not want to take a penalty, so they had to call a timeout.
The Star Spangled Girls, a bright spot in an otherwise gloomy 4th quarter. That's a good-looking band and a good-looking group of kids.
The Patriots travel to Fairfield next Friday night, Barry. That'll be a tough test.
That's our first Area 9 game, is it not?
I believe you're right. Kickoff 7:30, Fairfield High School.
Following the the game with Fairfield on the 12th, and on the weekend of the 19th, we have Oxford at home. That's our homecoming. That's going to be a tough game. And then we finish the season with 3 Area 9 games against McAdory, Midfield, and John Carroll. We play McAdory here at home, Midfield at Midfield, and John Carroll at home ends the season. And right now, we're concerned and have our hands full with Vestavia.
4th down. Wagner's going wide. It looks like he might have the first down.
I believe he got the angle.
Vestavia went with an unbalanced line to the right, went with a quick snap, and just destroyed our end, and they pick up the first down.
Well, another Vestavia first down inside the 10-yard line. The ball is, as a matter of fact, on the 1. It's hard to see from this angle, but the ball is placed on the 1. So they got 4 shots inside the 1. Let's see what we can do. Encroachment or movement. That'll back them up 5 yards.
It's been a very frustrating game for the Patriots, I know. You know, there was no lack of effort here tonight. 7 minutes and 38 seconds, we still got a chance.
Oh, there's no question about it. That's a long time in a football game. A long time in a football game. We need to keep them from scoring here. We need a hard hit. Hard hit and a fumble.
Well, the defense missed Eric Rebels here in the second half. I know that.
Here's the pitch to Wagner. He's coming wide around the left side. Excellent pursuit. Elvin Skipper, David Southward, Scott Hogue, Brian Greer.
Good job by the defense that time.
Excellent pursuit. Loss of a couple of yards. Now they look at what? 3rd and about 8.
Elvin came up real quick from his cornerback position and just wouldn't let him get outside.
3rd and 9. They started with a first down on the 1.
They're looking at a tired defense, but they won't quit. I can assure you that.
2nd down.
Skill to the big fullback.
That's Ryan Mann, or is it 44? 44, Jody McCullough. Another flag on the play.
Brian Greer on the tackle. McCullough is ordinarily their big blocking fullback. They tried to catch Homewood off guard there and give the ball to him. Looks like holding against Vestavia, a big break right here. The game's getting kind of sloppy here. But the most important thing is time keeps burning off the clock, and we need the football.
It is a big penalty against Vestavia. Going to make it very difficult for them to score. Now the ball is just inside the 20-yard line.
The game comes down to blocking and tackling, and we just couldn't block. And our defense is hung tough, but
still 2nd down as Vestavia comes up to the line now. 2nd and 19.
These next couple of plays are big.
Head's going to pass, rolls right, passes left. He's got his receiver at about the 10, 11-yard line. That won't be enough.
It's the first time we faced a left-hander this year, and it gives you a different look.
A 10-yard pass, that makes it 3rd and goal now. It is a different look, especially when he rolls right and throws with that left hand. That's it.
He sets up very quick. He's got good feet.
He really does.
Got quick feet.
Here's your 3rd and 10.
They give it to Mann.
Good tackle. Good tackling there by number 32, Damon Southward, and number 11, Brian Greer.
It looks like Vestavia is going to take the 3, or they're going to kick.
They'll take the 3.
5 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the ball game.
The line of scrimmage is about the 7-yard line. The kick will be placed down at about the 14. So call it a 24-yard attempt. Vestavia's extra point and field goal kicker is Chris Witt, number 31. Kick is in the air, deflected, and it's low. So it's no good. Timeout. The clock stopped now with 5 minutes, 4 seconds remaining in the ball game. And the score remains Vestavia 10 and Homewood nothing. But that was a moral victory.
Good penetration by the defensive line on that play.
We're going to look at this again. Let's see if we can spot the block here. May have been right in the middle there, number 74.
I believe it's 79, Jonathan Hammock, I believe, Barry.
Yeah.
Great effort by the Homewood defense.
Excellent defensive effort. They stopped the drive from the 1-yard line.
Oh, good touch by Jay Roberson. Zan was wide open. It's incomplete. Good touch by Jay that time.
I think Alexander might have thought it a little bit later on the contact there on that sideline, but those flags have been slow in coming tonight.
Well, we need to have a Stan White Auburn comeback right here.
We do indeed.
Brian Greer split wide to the right, Dwight Whalen to the left.
We've got timeout now on the officials. Now they start the clock again.
Well, I hope they don't start it because that was an incomplete pass.
Jay looks long. Ooh, way overthrown. Alexander Adamson, the intended receiver, but it was out of his hands by a good 5 to 10 yards.
Vestavia's done an excellent job on our receivers.
Jay tonight has 3 completions for 20 yards, but we've attempted 12 passes.
There you see Jay a little bit frustrated, but Jay possesses a lot of self-confidence. With 4 minutes and 51 seconds, you know, we made some comebacks last year. He just needs to hit a couple of strikes here. We're off and rolling.
Well, it's 3rd and 10. This would be time to do it. Jay's back. Just a little overthrown. Robert had it on his fingertips and didn't quite handle it.
But a good idea, try and throw the ball to your running back, get Robert out there isolated. You know, that could have been a big play right there.
Well, that sets up a punting situation. So Weststeed in to snap it back. Jay Roberson will punt it. Vestavia sends Wagner back around his own 45-yard line. We're going to get a flag on that one in the backfield, and Jay looks like he got hurt on that. In the meantime, Jay Wagner takes the ball in, brings it down to the Homewood 43-yard line, but Jay Roberson is slow getting up back there by the side of that yellow flag.
It's going to be Homewood's ball with a first down.
Well, I hope it's certainly not at the expense of our quarterback.
Kenneth Evans with a good job trying to hold the Vestavia man out.
Lovely, what's the chance we could see that one over? We've got the instant replay capability. Let's take a look at it again. The hit was late. Kenneth Evans fending off the defender coming in for Vestavia. And after the punt was underway, the hit was there. Let's see if we can catch it again on the replay. So we've got timeout on the field. Here's your play again. The defender comes from the right side of the Vestavia line. Kenneth blocks, and then he goes underneath him. And I believe it rolled that left knee under, is the way it looked. Back to live action now. The coach is watching with some sense of anticipation here. Homewood's going to have a first down on the 35-yard line as Jay Roberson comes off very, very tenderly on that knee. Weststeed will go in the ballgame as our quarterback.
Weststeed, a junior. West is capable of taking them down the field. We got 65 yards away from pay dirt. 4 minutes, 33 seconds to go. You're right, maybe Jay hyperextended his knee.
It just went absolutely right underneath as that blocker rolled under him. West has 1st and 10 from his own 35. He gives to Robert Davis up the middle.
Big Chris Lusko opening up a hole for him there.
Good only for a yard.
West comes over to Coach Dickie Wright to get his offensive play. Clock rolling.
3:58 remaining now. Scores 10-0. Gee, I hate to keep telling the folks that. I need to keep them informed if they've joined us late.
We're fixing to see an all-out rush here. West out to
Brian Greer, halfback pass. I wonder if there would be a flag on that one, but none signaled.
Well, I sure hate to question the referee's judgment there, but
it looked to me like Zan Adamson was on the ground when the ball came to him. That's just the way it looked. A little razzle-dazzle, that's right. Well, that's going to bring up 3rd and 8 now.
Big play.
If there ever was a possession down, this one's it, folks.
Look for West to go to Robert Davis this time.
West rolls to his left. He sees an opening.
First down.
First down. He's got the first down even on that bad ankle.
West pumped it one time, froze the defense, turned his head down and got his first down about the 47.
Comes over to get his signal again. West doing more running side to side than he is front to back.
In previous years, we used the receivers to run plays in and out, but we're evidently kind of short-handed with all these injuries.
All right, we've got a first down from our own 48-yard line. Wes is back looking for receivers. He stood in there waiting, and Zan Adamson has it at the Vestavia 40-yard line. That's another first down, Wade.
And West took a big hit after he threw the ball. Showed a lot of courage hanging in there.
Stayed in there with it. He's got the play. The clock running now. The clock stops on the first down with 3:04 remaining.
All right.
It'll be a Spartan effort if we can get this underway, and then kick it on sides. West rolls out. He's got a receiver, Whalen, down at the 24-yard line, and no penalty flag on that play either.
West did a good job rolling away from the pressure.
A lot of the Homewood partisans here want to see some yellow on those, but still nothing at this point.
Our fans haven't had much to holler about up to this point, but they're getting into it now. West looking very confident and very capable of taking them down the field. 2:51 to go.
We have number 14, Michael Walden, split wide right as a wide receiver. Michael in the game for the first time tonight.
Michael with good speed. Well, West had to rush his throw that time. He's trying to go to Michael Walden. And it's going to bring up 3rd.
Going to bring up 3rd and 10. Michael Andrzejewski into the ball game. Michael Walden coming out. And Adamson in.
Andrzejewski, another one of those sophomores.
On the incompleted pass, the clock stops now. 2:46 remaining in this one. Here comes Brian Greer and Alexander Adamson wide to the right. Andrzejewski split wide to the left. Evans and Davis to the backfield. Steve rolls right. Long pass.
Complete
at the 23-yard line.
Good blocking by the offensive line, and Kenneth Evans had a big block on that play.
Was that Andrzejewski who caught the ball?
That was Zan, number 24.
I lost the play. Homewood going with no huddle now. Clock running with 2:35. Steve rolls left. Pass is complete. Down to about the 3 or 4 yard line. The clock will stop with 2:26 remaining as Homewood comes up to the line again.
I believe it was Andrzejewski on the catch.
Andrzejewski on the catch that time. Andrzejewski comes off. Skipper comes off. Clock rolls again, 2:25 and counting. Homewood up without a huddle. Steve pitches back to Robert Davis into the end zone for a touchdown. Call it 6 points. 2:17 now remaining in the ball game. Good. Robert Davis scores, scampering around left end.
Good lead block that time by Kenneth Evans. And I believe that's Kenneth down on the ground. All right, Homewood's still in it. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. I've never seen a team sustain so many injuries.
And still come through. I'll tell you what, you can feel it begin to move as they move down the field, and that momentum comes in and it turns into everything.
Well, looks like Kenneth, with that bad ankle.
That was 12 plays and 80 yards after the defense stopped Vestavia, who had the ball on our own 1 yard line. We turned that into a 12-play, 80-yard drive. And I believe, I've got to say, Wes Steed coming in to replace the injured Jay Roberson was the key to the drive.
Very impressive.
Wes's rollout capability, the ability to spot receivers downfield, several key pass receptions in that by Alexander Adamson and Michael Andrzejewski. It's a magnificent drive here in the waning moments of this ball game.
Wes Steed looked like an experienced senior coming in there. Took control and moved him down the field.
Here comes Kenneth Evans off. We hope he's all right. Kenneth played a tough game tonight after not starting last week because of an injury.
Okay.
He's a trooper.
Homewood will kick the extra point. Wes Steed will attempt. And it's not over. 2 minutes, 17 seconds to go. All right, Jay Roberson back in the game. Jay's going to hold. He's going to spot the ball.
Interesting to note here that Vestavia has no timeouts remaining. Wes has the kick up, and the kick is good. So, with 2:17 remaining in the ball game, it's Vestavia 10 and Homewood 7. And this one is a long way from being over.
You know, I believe Eric Reeves was in the game for the first time in the second half and did a good job snapping the ball. Eric can hardly run on and off the field with that bad ankle. Well, I think you can count on an onside kick here. Coach Harmon has drilled his guys. There you see the Homewood Patriot cheerleaders.
The Homewood cheerleaders have done a magnificent job of keeping our spirits up during this. Now Vestavia, now the referees indicate Vestavia has recovered the ball.
Well,
the coaches are going to want to know a little bit about that one. But the long and the short of it is Vestavia does have the ball. 2 seconds rolled off the clock on that onside kick. If we missed that coming back, that was an onside kick, and there was some question about who did recover it.
Barry, I'll say this. Many teams wouldn't have been this close. We still got 2 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Most teams would have folded the tents when they got down 10-0.
Clearly, I think the Homewood players felt as though they had recovered the onside kick, but it was on the Vestavia sidelines. Hard to see from here. Head pitches out to Wagoner, and he's
Elvin
stopped for no
Skipper,
gain.
good play. Homewood calls timeout. Wes Steed alertly called timeout. Minute 48 to go.
Scott Hogue on the bottom of that pile.
You know, great to see Homewood character come through.
1:48 now remaining.
We were down 10-0. 5 minutes go in the game. Looks like Vestavia was going to penetrate the end zone again.
And they had a first down on our 1-yard line. I keep remembering that's just a magnificent defensive effort on our part.
We had plenty of opportunities to just walk away and call our night, but the Patriots did not do that.
Well, there you see the clock in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. 1:48 remaining here. Homewood has called a timeout to stop the clock at that point. Vestavia now looks at 2nd and 9.
Is that not neat? How many high school replays will have the split screen with the time? Great job, Dudley. I'm impressed.
Good time to mention the names of the varsity cheerleading squad here. Jenny Crumpton, Brooke Dill, Susan Graffos, Allison Grizzle, Casey Kirby, Amanda Cook. We'll see what Vestavia does and then give you the rest of the squad. Wagoner fumbles the ball. Head falls on it. Damon Southard on the stop.
We've got a flag, Barry.
We've got a flag on the play. We sorted out the rest of those cheerleaders. Allison Leggett, Jessica Oates, Carrie Rose, and Jean Steelman, the varsity cheerleading squad for Homewood this year. They do a good job for us.
Damon Southard.
Hold him.
Great play by Damon that time.
Declined. So with that loss on the play now, the ball will be marked at the 41-yard line. The first down would be at the Homewood 44. 1:40 now remaining. And Homewood has called another timeout. That's the second timeout they've used in this half, and that means they have one timeout remaining.
Well, I don't think you're going to see Vestavia putting the ball up with 3rd and long, 1:40 go in the ball game. Homewood wants the ball back bad. I've got an idea. We've got some players playing hurt right now.
Oh, there's no question about it. I think you're absolutely right.
But let's give these guys credit. I mean, they have hung in there. They've shown a lot of guts. And, that's what Homewood football is all about.
Well, you look at the numbers there. They're the guys who do it for us every week. There's Lee Thompson, Jonathan Hammaker. Dusty Smith is always in there. Brian Greer, Elvin Skipper. Michael Coggin, Michael Flint.
The defense has hung in there time after time tonight. When things were not going good for the Homewood offense, the defense has hung in there. It kept us in this ball game. Things haven't gone right for Robert Davis and our offense tonight, but this defense has hung tough. Scott Hogue blitzing, quick kick
by Jay Wagner, and Homewood's got no one back.
Is that guy a weapon or what? Inside the 10-yard line.
Vestavia will down it at the 9. The clock stops with 1:29 remaining. And Homewood will have a minute and 29 seconds to see if they can get on the board.
Homewood's coming out with Wes Steed at quarterback. Homewood offense with new confidence after pushing the ball down the field last time. 91 yards away from victory.
A 41-yard quick kick. Wes rolls out. He's got
complete.
Alexander Adamson on the 28-29-yard line.
Well, it's
first down, and the clock stops with 1:20.
Zan did about a 15-yard square out, and the ball was right there when he turned around. Great throw, great catch.
Almost looked like they'd practiced that.
Minute 20 to go. Robert Davis is not in the ball game.
Davis is. He's at the setback.
Excuse me. Skipper is in the ball game at receiver. He's out wide to the left. Brian Greer out wide to the right.
We've got Dusty Smith in at a fullback position. On a reverse, Elvin Skipper brought down from behind. Excellent defensive play by Vestavia. They read it all the way.
Homewood's got to hurry now. On a 1 timeout left with a minute 5 to go.
West puts him at the line with no huddle. Brian Greer hustling to get back on side. They're set now. The clock runs with 58.
Fumble
and West falls on it and covers it up. That stops the clock. That'll give him a chance to.
Barry, if Brian could have beaten, if Elvin could have beaten the defensive end on that play, I think he'd have picked up some yardage and got out of bounds, stopped the clock. It's just unfortunate. That guy made a great defensive play.
Well, we're into our last timeout now with 49 seconds left, so we're going to have to control the clock with the pass. See if we can get down close enough to put another score on the board.
Well, it's been another typical Homewood Patriot Vestavia game. I recall, I believe it was in '86 when Homewood went to the state championship game. We beat Vestavia in the last few seconds here. I want to say 9-7.
Well, and in 1988, 2 years ago, we had 2 overtime periods before Vestavia won it 35-28, and they were playing here. And then last year, of course, Homewood beat Vestavia 7-3 at Vestavia, and that game wasn't decided until the last 4 downs from inside our own 10-yard line. So they do have a rich tradition of a head knocker of a football game.
Homewood not giving up.
None of the fans have left.
Yeah, Mike Whitten points out there's not a fan that's left at this point, and I don't expect any to leave now. 49 seconds remaining. On a delayed draw to Robert Davis over right tackle. There's a flag on the play.
Robert ran into his own man there. He may have had big yardage.
And legal procedure against Homewood, the only thing good about that penalty is it stops the clock with 44 seconds remaining. I'm interested in that's an odd choice of a play when clock is a key and you don't have any timeouts. You would have thought a pass play would have been the call.
He's such a threat, Barry, and he can score from anywhere on the field.
That's true. And they probably in that last timeout had their plays called for the remainder of the game. They knew exactly what they were going to do.
The Vestavia's defense was strung out all over the field that time. Incomplete
pass.
Another flag.
2 flags down in the backfield that time. We'll see what the call is. Looks like it's going. We'll have to get our sheet and look for the signal.
Well, That's your ball game.
That's it.
33 seconds to go.
That time.
Too many men on the field. Homewood is rolling. And we tried the end around with Skipper, and unfortunately that was a backbreaker.
Well, you know, you hate to lose one, and you hate to take an unblemished record and put a blemish on it, but they really showed themselves proud, I think, the last few minutes of this ball game. They really turned around and cinched up the chin strap, so to speak, and showed us what they can do against an awfully good Vestavia team. Hats off to Paul Head, their quarterback, and certainly to Jay Wagner, their all-purpose tailback. Head falls on the ball.
Well, don't make any mistake about it. Vestavia is thrilled with this victory. And I look for Homewood to tighten up and come back strong. If we can get some people well, you know, there's no reason we can't go and win our region and still have a great year.
No question about it. I can't help but look on the sidelines at number 64 with that left ankle taped up, Eric Rebels. 41, Kenneth Evans sitting on the bench.
Jay Roberson,
Robert Davis out at different times during the ball game. 3, 2, 1, there goes the clock. So that's the end of the ball game. Vestavia wins it 10-7, but on a valiant come-from-behind effort by Homewood in the last seconds of the ball game. Hats off to the boys for an absolutely magnificent job. That's your final score, 10-7, Vestavia over Homewood. We'll take time out for these commercial messages and be right back with some closing comments after this. You've been watching Homewood Patriot Football.
Doc, what's wrong with you? Tonsillitis?
Appendicitis.
Yeah!
A reminder here that next week Homewood plays at Fairfield, October 12th. The game is at Fairfield, and that's the first of our Area 9 games, followed by on October 19th, homecoming against Oxford back here at Waldrop Stadium. Well, it's been a hard-fought contest. We've got some folks who need to go and get well now after a very, very tough defensive battle. It's been our pleasure to bring you this broadcast here on Cable Channel 35. We look forward to having you back with us again next Wednesday night at 8:30 for the rebroadcast of the Homewood Patriots versus Fairfield Tigers game. For Wayne Glasscock, our spotter Mike Whitten, and Danny Callies, our sideline statistician, and all the guys that's in the broadcast crew, I'm Barry Copeland, thanking you for joining us and saying we'll see you again next week, everybody. You've been watching Homewood Patriots Football.
Your Homewood High School Athletic Association